We are back after a couple days off of moving and funneling around, but the Cowboys are making some serious moves. Obviously, a lot of activity in the offseason, but some things needed to change for Dallas as they have just been abysmal in the playoffs. Like, they cannot buy playoff wins. They cannot get traction, and they are trying to be America's team again, make another Super Bowl run type.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's looking like they're going all in again this year. So they restructured DeMarcus Lawrence's current deal and freed up about $9 million. He'll become financially expendable after the 2024 season. They signed Brandon Cooks. He's a little more expensive, but they were able to get the Texans to pay off a little bit of his contract. They signed Stephon Gilmore, who is still incredibly talented. Yes, he is a little bit on the older side, but he's still an elite corner in this league, I do believe. They also finally cut ties with old man Zeke Elliott. I think it was time. I think that goes to show they really believe in Tony Pollard. They actually just gave him a franchise tag today for just around, I believe, $10 million. We'll see what happens. Obviously, he just had a really major injury. Was it an ACL injury that he tore? But seems like he'll be back by the regular season. And lastly, they also signed Ronald Jones, who at one point was shown to have, he showed a lot of promise. Obviously, he was in the doghouse with the Chiefs, won a Super Bowl, didn't play at all. But I think that could be a really good move for the Cowboys, a low risk, high potential upside running back. I love the moves the Cowboys are making as a Packers fan. It just makes me sad. All these things happening, people getting signed, people getting traded, and here we are still mumbling around with this Aaron Rodgers trade. We just lost our potential to get Elijah Moore. So good for the Cowboys. I do think, they could make a run, and they're making all the right moves, in my eyes at least. Max, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, Dallas is an interesting team because every time you think that they're making the right moves and doing the right things, they are held back. Like something holds them back, whether that's the play of Dak Prescott, whether that's a lack of the running game, whether that's not a playmaker at receiver. They find new ways to run into their own roadblocks, and Dallas has never failed to do that. So I guess for me, as I'm not a Dallas fan by any means, but I'll always usually err on the side of pessimism for the Cowboys. They've earned that over the last 20 years of irrelevancy. So, I mean, if they end up doing something next year, I'll gladly eat my words. Fine. But I really don't think they will. I mean, congratulations. They added a couple pieces that are decent.
He was
Tony Pollard is a decent running back.
Elite last year.
Glad they got him.
He was an absolute electric playmaker, dude. If you watched any Cowboys games and saw his yards per carry and his yards per touch, he was a top 3 running back last year. Yes,
top 3
last year he was.
Tony Pollard.
Last year, yes, he was.
Top 3 running back in the NFL.
On a per-game basis, dude, he was.
All right. Well, I disagree.
He averaged 5.2 yards a carry. He had 9 touchdowns, 1,000 receiving yards. Like, tons of receiving yards as well. Like, 9.5 yards per catch, 370 receiving yards, 3 touchdowns on in the air as well.
Well, good for Tony Pollard.
Maybe
he'll
top 5.
Have another great year.
That's more. So that's a better take.
Top 5. Okay, fine by me. Top 5. I'll agree on top 5. I don't think he's a top 3 running back in the NFL, but maybe top 5. I just, again, my stance stays the same on the Cowboys. I just truly believe that they're the Cowboys. They'll always be the Cowboys, and until they do something different and they prove me elsewhere. We made a video earlier in the year talking about Dak Prescott and how he's kind of a bottleneck for this team. I don't think the Cowboys get anywhere if Dak Prescott's throwing 20 interceptions a year. I mean, That needs to change. And ultimately, until Dak Prescott learns how to trust his teammates and maybe they get another playmaker in there at receiver, that's going to really make a difference. Again, not super bought in on Brandon Cooks either. He's an old, small receiver. So who knows? I don't know. I'm full of pessimism with the Cowboys. Tyler, it seems like you are full of optimism. So we'll see. But overall, I think Dallas is going to have another average year. But make sure you like, comment, and subscribe for more NFL content.